Hey everyone, welcome to another video by Simply Learn. In this video, we will teach you everything that you need to know about the R-squared error in regression. So, let's get started. The first question that is probably in your mind is what's in it for you? What can you expect from this video? First, we will explain the concept of regression, a machine learning algorithm, to you. Next, we will take a look at the R-squared error, which can be used to calculate the error in regression models. Next, we will teach you how to calculate the R-squared error. And finally, we will implement the R-squared error with the help of Python. So what is regression? Regression is nothing but a machine learning algorithm that helps us determine the relationship between two or more variables. It uses input or independent variables to find the value of the output or dependent variables. Regression is a prediction algorithm, which means that given some variables, we can predict the value of an output variable. The predicted value is not going to be from a set of values, but is going to be a unique value in itself. Now let's understand what exactly regression is with the help of a few independent input variables. In this case, the variables that we'll be looking at is rainwater, fertilizer, and seeds. When we pass these independent input variables through a regression model, we're going to get a predicted output. The output predicted is that a crop will germinate when all three of these components are put together in certain quantities. So with the help of regression, given raw input data, we can find out the dependent output variable that we'll get when all of these input variables are more or less combined. Regression is nothing but a statistical method which is used to determine the strength and character of the relationship between a dependent variable and a series of other variables. Now, using regression, if we have a set of data points, we can use a regression model to fit a line which passes through most of these data points and use it to predict the outcome for new data points. The line is fit using equation of a straight line or a polynomial equation. Now in this graph, consider that we have our dependent variable or the output y and our independent variable or the output x. For a certain value of our independent variable, we are going to get a certain value of our dependent variable or our output. Using the data given here, we can see how our output varies when our input varies. To predict the value of our outcome y, we're going to need to find a relationship between all of these data points. To do this, we're going to plot a straight line through it because as you can see, all the data points lie more or less along a given straight line. Now using the straight line, for any value of x, we can find the approximate value of y. So suppose you want to find the value of y at a point x, which is given here, say, then all you have to do is extend a line from this point onto our predicted model, which is this line here. And then we can see where this point on the line coincides with the y-axis and get the approximate value of the outcome. The equation of a straight line is given as y is equal to b0 plus b1x plus e, where b0 is a constant given by the y-intercept of our line, or basically where the line intersects on the y-axis. b1 is the slope of our line and x is the point for which we want to find the output. E in this case is nothing but an error correcting term. So this is basically how regression works, and this is how prediction takes place in our regression model. Next, we will explain the concept of the R-squared error to you. So what is R-squared error? R-squared error is nothing but an error measurement term which calculates how well our regression model fits the data. It determines the amount of variance in a model caused by the input variables. Now, R-squared is a statistical measure that represents the portion of variance for a dependent variable that's explained by an independent variable or variables in a regression model. R squared is used to explain to what extent the variance of one variable affects the variance of a second variable. So, if the R square of a model is 0.5, then approximately half of the observed variation can be explained by the model's inputs. In other words, an R squared of 60% reveals that 60% of our data fits our regression model exactly. Now, in this case, in this graph, if we have a variance of 60%, it means that 60% of our data points fall exactly on our regression line. However, it is not always the case that a high R squared is good for a regression model. The quality of the statistical measure depends on many factors, such as the nature of the variables employed in the model, the unit of measure of variables, and the applied data transformation. Thus, sometimes a high R squared can indicate the problems with the regression model. A low R squared figure is generally a bad sign for predictive models. Now, all this time we've been talking about variance in our model. What exactly is variance? Variance is nothing but a statistical term which determines how spread out our data is and tells us how many outliers are present in it. Basically, it's a measure of how far a set of numbers is spread out from their average value. Using variance, you can basically figure out where your data is centered and how spread it is from the mean, and also you can find out how many outliers it has. Now, how can you calculate the R squared error? Let's start by considering the data that we have been given, as shown below. Now we can find the relationship between the input and the output variables by plotting a straight line or a regression model that passes through most of the data. To get the perfect fit for our model, we don't necessarily need to have the line passing through as many data points as possible. A true measure for a good model is that we reduce the error which is present in our model. Now, how do you find this error? The error present in our model is given by nothing but the distance between our predicted line and the data points which do not fall on the line. This is what you have to minimize. The distance between our data points and our line can be calculated by subtracting our data point from the point at which it coincides on our regression line. We square this just to get rid of any negative coefficients that may occur due to finding the difference between the 2 points. Now to find the variance in our data, we're going to find the mean and subtract the data points from the mean. This will basically tell us how spread out our data point is from the average value. We can then square these differences and add up the result to get our total variance. This is also known as the sum of squares total, and using this we can find the total variance in our data. The mean is nothing but the average of our data, and using the mean we can find the center of our data. So this is exactly where our data is centered. This is the average value that occurs in our data. Now the variance is nothing but the distance of all of our data points from the mean. If we do this, we're basically going to find out how spread apart our data is from the average value, or how far all of our data points lie from each other. When we subtract the position of our data points from our mean and square it and add all of that up, we get something known as the sum of squares total. Now the R squared error is the total variance in our input data. It can be obtained by dividing the SSR by the SST and subtracting the results from 1. So the R squared error totally becomes 1 minus the sum of our squared errors divided by the sum of the squared difference between our data points and the mean. Now this value gives us the variance, and this is why we can say that R squared is used to find the portion of variation in our data. Now how can you implement R squared error with Python? To calculate R squared error with Python, we're gonna look at the data which depicts the weather conditions which were present during World War II. And using the variables which are present in our data, we're going to create a model which predicts the daily weather forecast during World War II. And then we're going to use R-squared error to find the accuracy of our model. So this is our R-square model. So we're going to start off by importing all of our necessary modules. We're going to use the model NumPy to perform numerical calculations on our database and arrays. And we're going to use Seaborn and Matplotlib to plot our data. So now we've managed to import all of our data sets. Let's also load our data by reading in the CSV file that it is stored as in the form of a data frame. So over here, as you can see, we've read in the CSV file into a variable called weather, and then after that we're changing weather into a pandas data frame called climate. This is what our data frame finally looks like. So as you can see in our data frame, we have 5 rows because we're only looking at the top 5 rows, and we have 31 columns. So these are values which are not required and which are basically going to increase our error value. So let's drop them and get rid of them. Now let's also drop any empty values which may occur in the remaining columns of our data set and see what the final data set looks like. So this is our final data set. We have at the end, we're only left with max temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature. Now let's plot a count plot of our max temperature. A count plot is basically going to go through the entire max temperature column and figure out how many times every temperature value occurs. So it's going to figure out how many, it's going to count how many times 29.44444 has occurred, and it's going to plot that on this graph. And it is going to do that for every unique temperature value which is present in our column. So finally, this is the value that we get. So over here, as you can see, the majority of our temperature values are concentrated within this range. This means that these temperature values are the ones which occur most frequently. The other ones can be considered as outliers because they rarely are seen in our data, and they can further skew the output that we're going to get. Now let's do the same with minimum temperature. Let's plot a count plot for minimum temperature. So for the minimum temperature, we can see a very similar plot to the one that we got for a maximum temperature. Most of the values are concentrated around this region, but the outlier values here are way fewer. Now let's plot a regression plot between our maximum and our minimum temperature. So using the regression plot, we can plot a regression line for the two variables in our x and y axis. So this is our x axis and this is our y axis. This is basically going to plot a straight line which best fits the data that we are getting here. So over here, as you can see, this is a regression line. This thin blue line is a regression line which intersects our minimum temperature at a value which is between -30 and -40, and it passes through our entire data. So for a value of maximum temperature which is 0, using this we can predict the minimum temperature that would have occurred on the same day. So for 0, it will be somewhere around -10 degrees Celsius. So if we saw maximum temperature of 0 degrees on that day, we would have seen a minimum temperature of -10 on the same day. Now let's plot a heat map to see how these values are correlated with each other. So the correlation is basically used to find which values affect each other linearly, or which values when change will also affect the change in other values. So over here, as you can see, minimum temperature and maximum temperature have a correlation of 0.88, which means if minimum temperature changes, then the maximum temperature will also change to 0.88. Now the best correlation is obviously going to be between the mean temperatures and the minimum and maximum temperatures. The mean temperature is nothing but the average temperature value that we have. So this is basically going to lie in the middle of all of our temperature values, which is why we are going to have a better correlation for mean temperature. But minimum temperature and maximum temperature are also pretty well correlated with a correlation value of 0.88. This means that if our minimum temperature fluctuates, our maximum temperature will also fluctuate proportionately. Now, let's separate our input and output values. We're gonna predict the maximum temperature given our minimum temperature. Here, x is our input variable and y is our output variable. So now we're basically just gonna get all the important values in our x and y data sets. So after that, this is what our x and y data sets are gonna look like. Now, let's split our data set into training and testing sets. The training set will be used to train our regression model, and the testing set will be used to predict how well our regression model is performing. The training data is the data which will be visible to our model, or the data which our model is allowed to have access to. Testing data will be data which the model has never seen before or which it doesn't have access to, and hence it will be made to work on completely new data to better test how well we've fitted to our data set. Now we can split our data set into training and testing sets by using the train test split functionality from our sklearn.model selection library. Now finally, from our scikit-learn library, let's import a linear regression model. We're going to initialize a linear regression model to a variable called regressor, and then we're going to fit our linear regression model to our training data set. So we finally got our trained linear regression model. Now let's use this model to perform predictions on our testing data set. So these are the values that we've gotten after running our linear regression model on our testing data set. Let's see how well we've performed. We are going to import the R2 score from our sklearn metric. Now the R2 score will directly perform R-squared error on our prediction and testing dataset and see how well our testing dataset matches our prediction dataset. So now we've gotten an R-squared error of 0.9345, which basically means that 93% of our output values are influenced by our input values. This also means that our model is 93% accurate and that approximately 93% of our observed variation can be explained by the model's inputs. And with that, we come to the end of this video on R-squared error. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a thumbs up would be really appreciated. Also, here's your reminder to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon for more on the latest technologies and trends. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.